You can love someone deeply and still know they're not good for your peace. You can care about someone, yet realize their presence drains you more than it uplifts you. That's one of the hardest truths you'll ever face. Loving someone who keeps hurting your soul. You stay hoping they'll change. You justify their behavior. You tell yourself it's not that bad. But deep down, you know you're breaking your own heart by staying. And when the moment finally comes to walk away, most people drown in emotional chaos, anger, guilt, regret, and endless arguments. But there's another way, a Stoic way, a calm, powerful way to end a toxic relationship without drama, without losing your peace, and without begging for closure. If this message already speaks to you, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because here we grow through pain, not away from it. Number 1, detachment, the first step toward freedom. The Stoics believed that suffering often comes from our attachment to what we cannot control, and this includes people. The first step to ending a toxic relationship the Stoic way is to detach, not by shutting down your emotions, but by realizing that you cannot save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You cannot fix someone who refuses to face themselves. Detachment means understanding that love does not require self-destruction. Epictetus once said, "When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval." This means you stop seeking validation from the one who keeps wounding you. Detachment doesn't make you cold, it makes you sane. It allows you to step back, observe the situation without emotional fog, and make decisions from strength instead of desperation. It's realizing that you deserve peace more than you crave their attention. When you start detaching, they might accuse you of not caring. But that's because toxic people feed off your reactions. Silence threatens them. Distance exposes their manipulation. But that's how you begin reclaiming power, by no longer giving your energy to drama. You stop explaining yourself, stop arguing, stop trying to be understood. You start leaving, not loudly, but quietly with dignity. Every time your mind tries to pull you back into the chaos, remind yourself, peace is not found in fixing others. It's found in mastering yourself. That's what the Stoics lived by, not indifference, but inner discipline. Because walking away calmly is not weakness. It's the highest form of self-control. Number 2, acceptance. Stop fighting reality. The second Stoic principle in ending a toxic relationship is acceptance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Toxic relationships thrive on denial. We convince ourselves that things will get better if we just try harder. But the Stoic understands, resisting reality only creates suffering. Accepting that the relationship is toxic doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop lying to yourself. It means you finally open your eyes to what's real, the patterns, the manipulation, the inconsistency, the exhaustion. Acceptance is painful, but it's also freeing. Because once you stop expecting the person to change, you can finally start changing your situation. Many people stay trapped because they believe walking away means failure. But in truth, staying in a relationship that kills your peace is the real failure. Acceptance allows you to let go of what could have been and see what actually is. It's not resignation, it's clarity. And clarity always leads to peace. When you truly accept reality, you stop reacting emotionally. You stop needing closure because you realize the relationship already gave you all the answers you needed. Acceptance turns pain into wisdom. You no longer ask, "Why did they do this to me?" but instead, "What can I learn from this?" And that's where your healing begins, not through control, but through understanding. Number 3, emotional discipline, mastering the storm within. When you decide to end a toxic relationship, emotions will rise like a storm. Anger, sadness, guilt, fear. The Stoic way isn't about suppressing these emotions, but mastering them. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The mind exaggerates pain when you let it wander uncontrolled. Emotional discipline means observing your emotions without letting them control your actions. You'll feel the urge to text them one last time, to defend yourself, to explain your silence. But a Stoic mind knows that not every emotion deserves a reaction. Instead, you breathe through the discomfort. You remind yourself that temporary pain is better than endless suffering. The moment you act based on impulse, you give them power. But when you remain calm, you remain free. The goal is not to pretend you're fine. It's to stay centered even when you're not. Journal your feelings. Reflect on what this relationship taught you about yourself. Understand that emotional pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher. The Stoics viewed pain as training for the soul. Every tear, every moment of restraint, every act of calm in chaos, it's building your strength. So when emotions flood your mind, don't run from them. Sit with them, feel them fully, and then let them pass. Because the storm always ends, and when it does, you'll realize how powerful you've become by not letting it break you. Number 4, silence and dignity, your greatest revenge. In a toxic relationship, your silence is more powerful than any argument. The Stoics valued composure, not to appear superior, but to preserve their peace. When you end things, do it with calm clarity. No shouting, no explanations they'll twist, no emotional displays they'll use against you. Just quiet, firm detachment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When they expect you to fight, surprise them with peace. When they try to provoke you, meet them with indifference. When they reach out with manipulation disguised as care, don't respond with emotion, respond with distance." Silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom in action. It's saying, "I've seen enough, I choose peace." People who feed off drama cannot survive without attention. When you stop reacting, you starve their control. You begin healing not because they changed, but because you stop participating in the chaos. Your silence becomes your shield, your dignity, your victory. You're no longer in the ring fighting for validation. You're outside of it, walking toward peace. And this silence isn't just for them. It's for you. To hear your own thoughts again. To rebuild your sense of self without their noise. To remember that your worth doesn't depend on anyone's acceptance. The Stoic way isn't about revenge, it's about restoration. And silence is how you begin that process. Number 5, growth and rebirth, turning pain into power. This Stoic step is transformation. Once you've detached, accepted, disciplined your emotions, and embraced silence, it's time to grow. Marcus Aurelius said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." The pain you experienced isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more peaceful than before. When you end a toxic relationship calmly, you reclaim the energy that was once wasted on drama. You start focusing it on self-improvement, purpose, and inner growth. The Stoic doesn't see heartbreak as tragedy, but as an initiation, a test of character, a chance to rise above emotional chaos and become unshakable. Every scar becomes a story of strength. Every silent night becomes a lesson in self-control. You stop defining yourself by who hurt you and start defining yourself by how you responded. That's what makes you powerful. You understand that you didn't lose them. You found yourself. And once you find peace, you'll never trade it for chaos again. So when you walk away, do it without anger, without drama, without hate. Walk away with wisdom in your eyes and peace in your heart. Because that's the Stoic way, not to escape pain, but to rise above it. To love deeply, let go gracefully, and never lose yourself in the process. Number 6, letting go of the need for closure. One of the hardest parts about ending a toxic relationship is accepting that you may never get closure. The mind keeps asking questions. Why did they change? Was I not enough? Did they ever love me? You replay moments, looking for meaning. But the Stoic understands that closure is not given by others. It's created within. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have to become your own refuge." That means you stop waiting for apologies explanations, or emotional clarity from someone who lives in denial. The truth is, no amount of words from them will heal what their actions have already revealed. Closure, in Stoic terms, is self-knowledge. It's understanding your worth independent of their behavior. You accept that people act according to their nature, not your expectations. Epictetus reminded us, when someone does wrong, it is because they think it is right. Once you grasp that, you stop personalizing their actions. Their betrayal doesn't define your value. It defines their character. You find closure not by getting answers, but by outgrowing the need for them. You stop reopening wounds to make sense of them. Instead, you focus on what you've learned about boundaries, patience, love, and strength. The moment you stop needing closure is the moment you're finally free. Because now, your peace no longer depends on another person's truth. It depends on yours. In the Stoic way, closure is not a conversation. It's a decision. A decision to stop carrying pain that doesn't belong to you anymore. You let it go, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Number 7, reclaiming self-respect and boundaries. Toxic relationships erode self-respect one compromise at a time. You start ignoring red flags, excusing bad behavior, and over-explaining your worth. Before you know it, you've forgotten who you were before the chaos. The Stoic way back begins with rebuilding boundaries and reclaiming dignity. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you don't guard your peace, you hand over control of your emotions. Reclaiming self-respect means no longer negotiating your standards. You stop explaining your boundaries to those who never respected them. You stop trying to prove your goodness to people committed to misunderstanding you. Instead, you stand firm in silence. Because a person rooted in self-respect doesn't need to convince anyone. Their presence speaks for itself. You also start redefining love. Love is not sacrifice without balance or loyalty to pain. It's mutual respect and growth. The Stoic doesn't beg to be chosen. They choose themselves first. And this isn't selfishness, it's survival. The moment you stop chasing approval is the moment you rise above emotional dependence. When you rebuild self-respect, you stop allowing emotional chaos to feel like home. You no longer seek intensity, you seek peace. And that's when you finally attract people who reflect that peace, not destroy it. Boundaries don't push love away, they protect it. They filter out those who aren't ready to love you right. Number 8, redefining love through wisdom, not emotion. The Stoic view of love is both tender and disciplined. They believed love should never cost you your peace. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." And bravery in love means being willing to let go when staying hurts your soul. The problem in toxic relationships is that emotion takes the lead while wisdom takes the back seat. You confuse chaos for passion, manipulation for care, and temporary comfort for true connection. Redefining love means seeing it not as a constant emotional high, but as a space of calm and mutual growth. Love shouldn't drain you. It should restore you. It shouldn't make you anxious. It should make you stronger. When you love through the Stoic lens, you realize that real love requires discipline. The discipline to stay kind but not blind, giving but not depleted, compassionate but not controlled. When you let Stoic wisdom guide your heart, you understand that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. Because staying in pain teaches the other person that you'll accept anything. But leaving calmly teaches them, and yourself, that your love has limits, and your peace is sacred. You stop defining love by how much you can endure, and start defining it by how much you can respect yourself while giving it. You begin to see that walking away doesn't mean you stopped loving them. It means you started loving yourself correctly. And that kind of love never fades. It only deepens with time and truth. Number 9, practicing forgiveness without reconciliation. Forgiveness is one of the highest Stoic virtues, but it's often misunderstood. Forgiving doesn't mean letting toxic people back into your life. It doesn't mean pretending the pain never happened. It means releasing the emotional grip that resentment has over your heart. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best way to avenge yourself is not to become like the wrongdoer." When you hold onto anger, you carry the poison of the past into your future. Forgiveness frees you, not them. When you practice Stoic forgiveness, you separate the person from your peace. You accept that hurt people often hurt others. Their behavior was a reflection of their wounds, not your worth. You stop replaying scenarios and start reclaiming your present moment. Because every minute spent resenting them is a minute stolen from your own growth. Forgiveness doesn't need an apology. It's a silent decision to stop letting pain define you. You don't announce it. You don't send them a message. You just live lighter, wiser, freer. You understand that holding on to bitterness is like chaining yourself to the very thing you escaped. The Stoics believe that everything happens according to nature, not by accident, but by necessity. Maybe this pain was necessary to awaken a stronger version of you. So you forgive, not to forget, but to move forward with grace. Because the greatest victory isn't winning the argument. It's walking away with your peace intact. Number 10, living with peace after the storm. After you end a toxic relationship, there's an emptiness that follows, a silence that feels foreign after so much chaos. Many rush to fill it with distractions, rebounds, or noise. But the Stoic way is different. They sit in the silence and rebuild from within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Peace after the storm isn't something you find. It's something you cultivate. You start small. Morning walks, reading, journaling, gratitude, reconnecting with your own company without feeling lonely. You learn that solitude is not punishment, it's purification. In the quiet, you hear your thoughts clearly for the first time. You discover your true self beyond the identity the relationship built for you. This stage is where you finally heal, not because someone comforted you, but because you learn to comfort yourself. You begin to see how much energy you gave away trying to be understood. And now, that same energy returns as self-trust, as calm, as power. You realize that peace was never missing. It was just buried beneath all the noise. Living with peace after the storm doesn't mean you forget the past. It means the past no longer disturbs your present. You can think about what happened without pain, speak of it without anger, and remember it without fear. That's how you know you've mastered yourself, when your peace no longer depends on who stays or who leaves. In the end, walking away from a toxic relationship isn't about proving a point or seeking revenge. It's about reclaiming your peace. The Stoics taught us that true power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering ourselves. When you choose silence over chaos, peace over pain, and wisdom over reaction, you rise above the storm that once consumed you. You don't need closure from them. You need closure within yourself. You don't need to win the argument. You need to win back your inner calm. Remember, every time you choose peace over drama, you're not losing someone. You're finding yourself again. So walk away with calm strength. Let your silence speak. Let your discipline guide you. And let your peace become your greatest victory. Because that is the Stoic way. Not to escape pain, but to transcend it. If this message resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Continue walking the path of self-mastery, because peace is not something you chase, it's something you create one decision at a time.